This is Morten from INKISH. We are still here at BOBST fantastic open house in Santa Fe Springs in Los Angeles. And I'm going to talk to Thomas. Hey, Thomas.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. I saw your presentation of BOBST Connect earlier today. It seems that everybody with BOBST is so excited about BOBST Connect. What is it?
Absolutely. No, BOBST Connect is our platform for viewing the data off our machines. It's essentially where our host, the web front the front end of all interacting with your data. It allows us to see exactly how your machines are doing, kind of dive in and see what is causing problems with your productivity, and it allows us to really try to increase productivity inside your plants.
When you have something like that, I understand that we're talking IoT here, but I was just thinking, when I go and visit converters, there's a lot of old BOBST equipment out there as well. Are you able to add sensors and things like that to that, or is it only the new technology? Or
that's a great question, actually. So yeah, you're right. BOBST has been around for almost 140 years, and we've had machines from every generation.
Hopefully not 140 years old still, right?
No, hopefully another 140 years. So we do a lot more with our new machines, but with our older machines, we don't have as many sensors, but we can still get data off of it. Yeah, I've actually hooked up a lot of our oldest machines too, machines that are older than me, and I've gotten data off of them. So we have ability to get data off of older machines, but the big difference is just the quality of the data, how much data you're going to get. And we get a lot more off of newer machines because
obviously it's built for it, right?
Exactly.
But I was thinking that, one of the things that you spoke about during your presentation was that you have all the, let's say, the measures like OEE, and they got questions from the audience, what is OEE and why is it important? And you gave a good presentation about why OEE is like a good measure. So maybe you could just explain that again.
Absolutely. So OEE is it's a KPI that we use to kind of tell you how you're doing, how well your machine's running. I like to kind of step back a little bit about that and say OEE is just kind of saying if you were able to run your machine as perfect as can be, no stops at full speed, that's going to be 100% OEE. That's what we're going to strive towards, but it's just a benchmark. It's not a pass or fail because jobs are all different. Cardboard's different, atmosphere is different. These do play different variables into the situation that can adjust that down or up. OEE though is a breakdown of three other key metrics, which is availability, performance, and quality. It's really a good metric to tell you just really how good your machine is doing.
But I guess that it's also like a fantastic opportunity for you when you are giving advice to your customers, because let's say that you have an older machine and a newer machine, and you can basically prove with OEE that it could actually be beneficial to invest in newer technology. That is like a KPI that is also good for your salespeople, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, and other items as well too. If you wanted to sell parts to the machine, well, now we can prove, did these parts actually help you out? We can also say like different items that we're doing on the dies, like tooling. We can actually now increase it and improve that performance quality of the OEE. One of the things that not only BOBST talks about, but a lot of vendors talk about is that the maintenance, you can actually foresee preventive maintenance, so you have less downtime basically on the equipment, right? It must give your customers a fantastic belief in you as a company because you're investing a shitload of money in this right now, right? Yeah, absolutely. This is the heart of our company at the moment. And we think we're only scratching the surface. We're getting some data, but we want more. We want to get more, and we want to provide more and more for the customers. Our end goal.
You mentioned AI, so this is maybe a learning model, right?
This is what we're going to start using. We need this base data to start training our AIs for maintenance items as well. Like if you have a lot of downtimes on the machine, well, right now you might be able to see what downtimes are on the machine, but we need something to help you eliminate that downtime. And so that's where we would try to train that AI.
I was the annoying person that was asking about API, and because one thing is that you can see data, but can you also trigger, let's say, workflow items in your processes based on this, or is that something that is coming in the future?
It's coming in the future. Right now our API is just solely based on making BOBST Connect working with your in-house ERP systems. But we want to make it even more. We want to be able to make all these systems work together. Again, BOBST Connect might not be your end-all be-all for your entire plant, but we want all your systems to work together in order to get data from BOBST Connect and push data into BOBST Connect.
So that means that it's for BOBST equipment, but through a third-party application, you could integrate third-party hardware as well, or?
We can definitely get data off of like third-party sensors and bring
I was just
that
thinking
into
for
it.
like, let's say that you have a Lil Peter and you have a BOBST or whatever, on the label presses, for example. Then it would be smart if you could monitor how they perform against each other, right?
Yeah, and we're not at the non-BOPS level yet.
Okay.
We want to perfect BOPS machines as well.
And
so
that makes sense, of course.
yeah, we know BOPS,
Yeah.
and we know that
we should, right?
I hope so.
Fantastic.
But we want to increase. The BOPS machines are very good machines, but now we need to prove it. And not only that, we want to actually, like I said earlier, we want to increase the productivity. If you are making X amount on a box, well, we want you to keep as much of that X amount off that box as possible and not have to waste it on other items.
One of the things I really liked about your presentation as well is all the small blue bottles there is like representing better versions, better functionality. I mean, that's quite brave because often you don't see that kind of beta in a public environment, right?
I make sure to show it off. I don't want people to think that this is all that we have. We are working on items in the background to bring, again, value to the customer, increase productivity. But in order to do so, we need to make sure that the product that we are coming out with is actually working correctly. So that's why we show it off. And I even actually offered it to some of the customers to let them know, like, if you came up with this idea, we'd possibly let you have the beta feature on site and prove that it worked before we release it out.
And you even said to the audience that if they have ideas for functionality that would be nice to have, you could talk to you at any time, right?
Absolutely. I make sure that I'm always available. I make sure that when my customers have an idea, that I capitalize on talking to them about it, because it might be a great idea. It might be the next game changer. But if it's valuable to you, it's valuable to me. And that's more what I care about.
We spoke to your colleague John earlier today also about the die forms where you have like now the RFID chips inside it, so you can basically tie let's say the tooling to the production equipment. That must be like something that also gives a lot of advantages for customer when it comes to like making it as profitable as possible, because they basically can be quite sure what they produce and at what quality, right?
Absolutely. Yeah, no, it's we're seeing some really good results with tooling, but we've actually taken that at one step further and allow you as the customer to share it with your die maker. And now we're opening up the industry to allow this data to help not just you, but it also helps the die makers, and thus it helps BOPS. We're getting all the data, we're helping you guys out. It's becoming full circle.
And now you have made 5 presentations today. You started with 4, and then I asked you for 1 more, right? So how has the day been for you?
Oh, it's been fantastic. I enjoy this. This is where I smile when I talk to customers, because this is how I learn. The more and more I can do, I'm happy to do so.
Fantastic. Thank you, Thomas.
Thank you. Appreciate it.